Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
And welcome into halftime. It's a Phil-free Wednesday. Phil, it doesn't.
It's
not
as good as a Friday.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound as good as
almost alliteration.
It almost is. But as you can tell, Phil's not in today. He's traveling with the women's basketball team on their way down to Orlando, which luckily he does not get to go to Disney World, which we all are happy about.
I'd be so pissed if we got to go
exactly. I'm glad that they spent their extra travel day in New York City when they went to UConn instead of allowing Phil to get a free day in Disney World. Is that a little spiteful? Is that a little mean? A little bit. I mean, I can understand that. I can understand how that comes across.
I just don't want him to.
But do I care? No.
We don't want him to enjoy anything that we can't be a part of.
Exactly. He's there to work. It's time. He needs to work, not have fun, and not play in the happiest place on the earth. But with Phil out, Drew Barrett, Matty T still holding down the fort here in the fort of Fort Smith in the River Valley and across.
The show must go on.
The show must go on, as they always say, as we are on all the stations across ESPN Arkansas, and of course, hitthatline.com. 877-377-6963 is the number to reach us, to call us, to text us. Any of your thoughts, opinions, ideas, philosophies, or just anything you want to get off your chest today, you can hit us up. We'd be happy to take your calls and your texts. Do have a busy show today as we are loaded with guests. Have 3 guests today. Clay Henry, of course, will join us at the bottom of the 11 o'clock hour to talk all things Razorbacks and all the wonderful knowledge that Clay Henry has about the natural state. Then at 12 o'clock, high noon, we will be joined by friend of the show, David Cobb from CBS Sports, on the coaching carousel that is going on in college football. How long is it going to contend? You know, are there going to be more openings coming up as people leave jobs? And just how long is this cycle going to continue here on the college football landscape, and of course on college basketball and the craziness that has already been the 2021-2022 season? Gonzaga's lost. They lost to Duke, then Duke lost to Ohio State, and so on and so forth. There's been a lot of dominoes fall. Luckily, the Arkansas Razorbacks have remained unbeaten as they play tonight on ESPN Plus against the Bears. Or is it the Bears or the Purple Bears? Because I know their color's purple. Did they just go by Bears, though, Matty? It's just Bears, right?
You're talking about
Central Arkansas?
The UCA Bears.
Just the Bears, not the Purple Bears. They should go by the Purple Bears.
For about 7 or 8 years, I ran the board for their football games.
Did you really?
Every single game. Never went to one myself.
No.
Never cared to go to one, but I was in studio, just about every Saturday night. You know what that's like.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I've done that plenty of times.
You know what it's like where you're like, if I have to do this anymore, I'm going to move to Fort Smith and take another job. And then you do that.
Exactly. I mean, no, I've definitely been there. We've all been there. Everybody in this business has been a board op, has been a weekend night guy.
Stone.
Exactly. I mean, it's where you cut your teeth. It's where you build up your chops type of thing. And just like a lot of careers, you don't get to start at the top. You got to start at the bottom. And I remember there was plenty of games, NFL, college, even high school games where I'll leave and somebody asks me how work went. I'll be like, it went well. I didn't mess up. Who won? I have no idea.
Same thing. And you ever remember those?
I promise you I didn't miss a break or an ID. I can guarantee I didn't do that.
You remember those games where they would have like lightning delays?
Oh,
and
gosh.
like a 3-hour game would turn into 6 hours,
yes.
7 hours?
Those were the absolutely worst. The worst one I ever did, though, a little side note here, was we used to run back before it went all digital and all online, Memphis Redbirds, AAA affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals games, and they were playing out west. I believe they were playing, I want to say they were playing a night game in Salt Lake City. So it wasn't getting started until like 9 o'clock Memphis time. The game went 19 innings, lasted 6.5 hours. I believe I got home at 5 o'clock. It was the worst night, worst experience of my life. And honestly, just to stay awake was a challenge altogether.
I remember just like doing circles around the studio.
Oh, yeah.
Just trying to keep myself, yeah.
You're just running up and down. You're the one time that you actually care about the outcome is when it goes into extras or it's going so long and you're like, I do not care who wins. Whoever gets me out of here fastest is my new favorite team.
Yeah.
Like, I will drop all alliances that I have to any university, any baseball, football, basketball. I will drop all alliances. You'll be my new favorite team if you'll just let me go home. Just please, just somebody score and get me out of here. So we've all definitely have been there. Also, 12:30, do have Bill King, of course, the king of college football talk out of Nashville, Tennessee. He will join us at 12:30. We'll talk a lot of Razorbacks, talk a lot of college football, college basketball, some crazy stuff. And if I feel like I sound different today, and the reason why I feel that is either I do, for one, or two, I hear myself different because of the pressure in my head.
I think it's because you're all doped up, but you're doped up on sinus medication.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, that's the main thing.
You had something in your head, but now it cleared out of your head and it moved down to your nose and throat area.
Yes, it's starting to clear down, and now the cough has been pretty bad. So if you hear me coughing through the next 2 hours, I apologize. But I've been dealing with this for about 2 weeks now, and I've done everything except go to the doctor.
They say if it lasts longer than 2 weeks to go to a doctor.
I don't want to.
I think it's actually not even 2 weeks. It's like if it lasts more than a couple of days.
Fine, I guess I might go. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I need from you, Maddie, and from everybody else. I need home remedies. I'm willing to try absolutely anything.
Do you like anything that involves whiskey?
I mean, ideally, I would prefer that. But I've also heard that drinking alcohol while you're sick and on sinus medication isn't the best thing for you to do.
No, but then you end up sleeping it off. So by the time you wake up, you're over it.
Yeah, but I get up at 4:20 every morning. It's not like I have time to take time off and to sleep it in and everything else. So, like, I need...
Low blow Jackson from Fort Smith.
Oh, come on, bro.
He heard egg drop soup helps.
I'm not making it.
You're not making it, yeah. I
can promise you that. I'll go through the drive-thru. I'll go to the China City. I think we had somebody suggest that before about having the egg drop soup. But I need some, like, really good home remedies. And every person, especially, like, over the age of 50 that I've ever met has their own home remedy of how to get rid of the snotty stuffiness in your face. So if you have a good one, if you have one that's been passed down from your great-great-great-great-grandmommy from 1842 that your family lives and swears by, please let me know, because I've got to get rid of this thing. It's absolutely driving me crazy. You can send those in or call us at 877-377-6960.
BE is always good for one. Hot water, whiskey, lemon, and honey. But that's after you do that boiling salt water breathing.
Yes, he did send me in the boiling salt treatment this morning. So I definitely...
He forgot to mention you have to stand on your head while you do this.
I have to stand on my head?
That's the secret.
That might be a little tough. How do I stand on my head? I mean, I'm not a break dancer. I can't like spin.
No, get up next to the wall.
Oh, okay. And then do I drink it upside down or
drink it through your nose?
Drink it through the nose. So it's like a neti pot situation, but I have to, instead of it coming out of one nostril, I have to make sure it goes down all the way down.
That's how you do it.
That's how it works?
That's how you do it.
I mean, heck, I'm absolutely willing to try anything. Matt says Carolina Reaper to clear the sinuses. Seriously?
So I have a little
that's that pepper, right?
Yep.
I mean, I've heard hot stuff can, like, help clear it all out. But, like, I don't know if I want to be biting into one of the hottest peppers that has ever been put on God's green earth every single day. That feels like if in order for me to do that, in order for me to put that through my body and put my body through that type of pain, and I don't mind hot stuff, right? Like, I put hot sauce on a lot of stuff. I'm a Louisiana man myself. I know everybody's got their different hot sauce, different thing.
It's not hot enough for me.
You're not really.
Louisiana, that's just flavor. When you
see, and I like the flavorness of it. So, like, some things can be too hot. Like, my brother is one of those people that will put hot sauce and hot stuff on literally anything, and the hotter the better. Like, I need the devil's nutsack sweat type
that
of
is the name of it.
I'm pretty sure that is a name of a hot sauce. Like, he'll put it on everything. Like, I'm not that bad, but I've heard of this Carolina Reaper pepper, and I'm pretty sure it's hotter than Louisiana hot sauce.
You can get so hot that it's not enjoyable. And like, there's a place in Cabot, Arkansas called the Mean Pig barbecue, and they had this Shut Up juice. And you could just get a toothpick to taste it. And I put some just on the tip of my tongue. I had to go to the bathroom and was holding my tongue under the faucet.
See, I don't want that. I don't want to have to be chugging and spilling milk all over my face in order just to get rid of the sinuses. But if it works and it's a one-time deal, like, I will put myself through that pain, because these last 2 weeks of just, and it's been a roller coaster too. Like, I felt pretty good last Wednesday, last Thursday, Thanksgiving, felt great, was around everybody, didn't feel bad about I was trying to get anybody sick. Then come back to the fort on Sunday, feeling a little off, and then Monday just bang, right back to it.
And
so
now you're hacking and coughing everywhere, just getting your germs on everything.
And I'm sorry.
You know, I think maybe there's something to that, because I did try the few months ago the Buffalo Wild Wings. It was like their extreme heat challenge or something, and I remember it's like I had to get a roll of toilet paper because my nose was running so much.
If that's what's going to clear me out, then that's what's going to clear me out. I just need to have something here. Emergency vitamin packs cure all. I saw those in the store yesterday. I almost got
really
those.
Work.
See, that's the thing. Like, I've tried them before, and I think they might have worked, but I was also taking like 5-6 other medications with it. So I don't know if it works on its own.
Like, Jacob suggested that, but at the end of it, he's got like the laughing emoji
face.
that is laughing so hard there's tears coming out of the emoji's
so
eyes.
Is he trying to steer me wrong?
Or is he saying that, no, those emergency vitamin packets that don't work, but everybody keeps buying them and just wasting their money on them?
Exactly. I mean, like, that's the thing about it. Like, I don't know if it actually works. So I need your good remedies, your good things, and we'll get to some more of those on the other side of the break. Before we get to break, do want to let you know, if you're looking for a new job and are looking for more than just a job, Baxter Regional Medical Center can assist you in becoming an EMT or paramedic. If you have the passion to help others, want the opportunity to work in an involved team and learn from the best, this is your chance. Become an EMT in 1 semester or paramedic in just 3 to 4 semesters and get your complete certification or degree without student loan debt. If you're looking for more than just a job, Baxter Regional Medical Center has your opportunity right now. Call 870-508-1883 or log on to baxterregional.org for more information and all available positions. This might be the job. If you've got the perfect remedy for me, you obviously like to help people. So keep sending them in, 877-377-6963. We'll be right back on the other side. Going to get into some college football craziness in the polls and coaches carousel. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Do you like paying your rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Matt Fowler at Highlands Residential Mortgage.
Back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab.
C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO. We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV.
Done after the first 61 people start driving better. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
Need a little bit more halftime in your life? Make sure to download the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith has the best deals in the River Valley on liquor, beer, and wine. Stop by 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith and make sure to check out their Facebook page for weekly specials. The Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast is part of the Hit That Line Podcast Network and is available wherever you listen to podcasts.
And welcome back to a little halftime on hashtag Feel Free Wednesday. Phil Elson be traveling with the women's basketball team. He'll be back on the show tomorrow. Drew Barrett, Matty T holding down the fort, as always, in the fort and across all the stations here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. JT in Hot Springs, he's trying to get me drunk. I mean, he suggests 1 cup of hot tea, 2 shots of bourbon, 1 tablespoon of honey, and a teaspoon of lemon juice. I'm okay with that. I can do that.
It almost sounds like some kind of blues song. 1 whiskey, 1 shot, 1 beer,
yeah.
1 tablespoon of honey, and a teaspoon of lemon juice.
See, I'm good with that. But then he follows it up and says, repeat 3 to 4 times.
He's just telling you what you want to hear.
I mean, exactly. Do I want to take 8 shots of bourbon and kind of forget that I'm sick? Of course. But is that going to really help? That's the question.
I can't read this one. That was funny, though. Out of the 479.
I've tried the Alka-Seltzer stuff. I have tried that. It did work for a bit, and I've been using the nighttime Alka-Seltzer stuff, so maybe I need to go back to that instead of the tried and true Dayquil is what I've been on. I'm trying to mix it up, trying to find the right type of sinus cocktail, as you will, when I know for a fact. See, here's how lazy and stubborn I am. I know for a fact I can go get a sinus cocktail shot at a doctor's office. And it's not like I have to travel very far to go see my doctor. He's right there.
Oh, yeah? You seem so cocky. Why don't you go do it?
Well, I'd have to make an appointment, and then there's
and that
a copay.
takes like 5 minutes.
Well, I also don't know if he's available today, tomorrow,
I can understand the copay part because you did just find out yesterday that you were not making as much money at a certain gig as you thought you were.
That is true. That was a little
Don't you
bit
hate that when you work like all season and you realize,
it's a little disappointing when you thought you were making X amount of dollars and they tell you, no, you've been making
take 1/3 of that
You've
off.
been making Y amount of dollars. So, yeah. So, if that hadn't happened, my butt would have been at the doctor's office like yesterday. But, copays and insurance and financial mumbo jumbo, like you all get it. You understand. It's okay to use the at-home remedies, which I'm definitely going to try some of them. Brad in Salesville, Yellowbird makes some great hot soup. Hot sauces. Oh, hot sauces.
Blue agave sriracha is the cat's meow.
Ooh. That sounds tasty, actually.
I'm a fan.
Blue agave, that's what they use in tequila, right?
I do believe so, yes.
Yeah, it's like tequila hot sauce. Huh.
I'm a fan of anything where they like mix like mango flavor in with it.
Mm-hmm.
I like a mango hot sauce.
Oh, yeah. Love a good mango. But keep sending in those home remedies if you have them, 877-377-6963. Do want to get on to some sports as a college football. I like to call it College Football Invitational because, let's face it, that's exactly what it is. But its official name is the CFP, a.k.a. the College Football Playoff. Their rankings, second to last rankings, came out last night. I don't think it was that big of a shock to a lot of people. I don't think that Cincinnati staying at 4, Alabama staying at 3, Michigan jumping up into that 2 spot to take over Ohio State. I think a lot of people expected that to happen, right? When you ultimately not only beat the number 2 team in the country, but you pretty much basically embarrass them, as Ohio State just didn't really seem like they either knew or really cared to play any defense last Saturday in quote-unquote the game there in Ann Arbor, Michigan against the Wolverines. So the top 4 isn't surprising. The main surprising thing, and I don't think a lot of people, including myself, realized that this was in the college football playoff like bylaws or guidance lines that the committee will go off of. And you had chairman and people talk about it yesterday, especially after the news of Brian Kelly's departure to Louisiana State University. That while Notre Dame currently sits here at number 6, season's over, obviously being an independent, they have no conference championship game, they have no extra game, no 13th game on the schedule, so their resume is complete and done. But that doesn't mean what the committee has evaluated about Notre Dame is over, because they said that any example of a team without certain players, without a coach, can affect the committee's decision. So basically saying that without Brian Kelly, they think that it would be a detriment to the outcome of a CFP matchup, then they will keep Notre Dame out of the matchup. And that's what's brought up a lot of the controversy, a lot of the conversation over the last 24 hours when Brian Kelly news first came out, right? We all were a little shooken by it, a little shocked, because I don't remember anybody telling me or reading any article throwing out the name, hey, watch out for Brian Kelly at LSU. Never heard it once. Never read it once. It was not, to my knowledge, out there. Maybe I didn't follow the right people. Maybe I didn't listen to the right programs. Maybe I just didn't hear it. But to my knowledge, that example was never out here. So there was a shock of, oh my goodness, Brian Kelly is leading Notre Dame, where he's been over a decade, a program that he's got in the national championship type of race, an 11-1 record, only losses to number 4 Cincinnati on the year. He's leaving to go to LSU. So that was a shock to kind of begin with. And then I think as soon as that shock and him moving, going straight on to LSU, then the shock of, oh, how dare he only talk to his players for about 2 minutes, met with the university for total time, including chancellors, ADs, for only about 11 minutes before he said, deuces, I'm headed south for the winter. We're going to Baton Rouge. As soon as that shock kind of got over people, now the shock is, wow, Brian Kelly could honestly cost this team a shot at the CFP, and he's not even the head coach. That's the biggest thing out of last night that I learned, when it comes to these CFP rankings. Because everything else, it was pretty much vanilla. You knew exactly how it was going to turn out. Nobody's shocked, I don't think, really by the top four. The Oklahoma State moving up to the top 5. I think everybody expected that when they knocked off then number 10 Oklahoma. So still a lot of things that could happen here this week. I think it's going to be, and I'm hoping for, insanity, right? Especially when, if Arkansas was in the position to make the CFP, then you don't really want insanity, right? You don't want chaos. You want the clearest path to get you in there. But heck, none of us really have a dog in the fight unless you're listening on the other side of that Arkansas River right now and you're a Pokes fan. None of us have a dog in the fight. So let's root for chaos. I'm here for it. Let's blow this thing up. Let's force the committee's hand to move to 8, to move to 12, or whatever the final number that it's going to be for this college football invitational going forward. And let's do it. Let's blow it up. Maddie, you ready to blow it up?
I'm excited. Yes, anarchy.
Anarchy, of
Mass
course.
Hysteria. Dogs and cats living together.
Need it all. Just blow it up. Chaos, chaos, chaos. 877-377-6963. When we come back, we will have Clay Henry. But one other way that you can listen to us other than on the great ESPN Arkansas station is, of course, the home of ESPN Arkansas on the interweb at hitthatline.com. And the best way to do that, especially in a lot of places across the national state, is with Wave Rural Connect. And that is through Arkansas Valley Electric Corporation. It is live in Peter Pender zones covering areas south of the Ozarks near Clarksville, Cecil, Roseville, Webb City, and more. If you've had it with terrible overpriced internet in your rural area, Wave Rural Connection is the best choice for faster internet you can get, period. Wave is a local provider based in Ozarks serving Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Man, this sinus thing has got me a little tongue-tied and a little cotton mouth, too.
Have a drink of water.
Thank you. Give me a second. I'll finish this live reading.
For the listeners, Drew's taking a sip of water right now.
Much better. Internet starting at $49.95 per month. TV packages starting at $32.95. Fiber phone starts at $29.95. Order today. If you live in the Peter Pender zone, call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or check online at signup.waveruralconnect.com. Clay Henry on the other side. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Happy and thereby you're fire. I hope you have a good one. I hope mama gets the shopping done and it's a Christmas all over.
Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. 4 generations making your family dreams come true.
This year's Value Bonanza sales event at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas gives you more ways to save. Save big with 0% financing and cashback offers on select New Holland tractors, hay, and forage products, and materials handling equipment. These offers end December 31st, so make the trip to Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas today. You get more choices and more savings when you buy during Value Bonanza. For commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and C&H Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo! Hey, Siri.
Hey, Ty, this is Courtney Parker, founder of Rub It Snout. When I want to be the man, I grill, smoke, or cook with Rub It Snout All Grub Rubs.
Well, Courtney, where can I find them?
They're at your local Harps in the Northwest Arkansas and River Valley area.
See you later, man.
Where are you going?
I'm going to get some of those rubs from Rub It Snout.
You can also find us at rubitsnout.com. Spread the rub.
TGI Fridays is the best place in Fort Smith for food, fun, and football. Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has your favorite beers on tap. And Thursday through Sunday for bar football, all drafts are just $2. Fridays is the best place to watch football with plenty of TVs so you won't miss a second of the action while enjoying famous Fridays appetizers like the loaded potato skins or Friday's signature whiskey glazed sliders. It's food, fun, and football with $2 drafts Thursday through Sunday at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Christmas shopping is easy at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith. Great gifts for everyone on your shopping list. Work boots and clothing. Jelco just added a new tip-top selection of Western boots by Justin, Tony Lama, Ariat, Nakona, and Twisted X. Jelco is now carrying Hey Dudes, plus all the fishing, hunting, archery, and firearms for that special person on your list. This year, shop local at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Looking for a fence company that will provide the personal touch to your fence or gating project? Call Dusty's Fence Company at 479-629-4190. Dusty's Fence Company specializes in custom wood design, vinyl fencing, chain link and ornamental iron projects, and they can even stain your fence to complete your project. Family owned and in business for 20 years, you will deal with the same person from start to finish. That's Dusty's Fence Company, 479-629-4190.
Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith now has vaccinations available for ages 5 and up. Law's Drug Store has the Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and Moderna vaccines. These vaccines are safe and effective in preventing severe cases of COVID. Call 452-6116 to schedule your appointment or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Massard Road, is a locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith that wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been a part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling is totally stocked and has a large selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is always ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling today at 5500 Massard Road, and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
Winter is just around the corner. Don't get caught out in the cold. Did you know you could save up to 60% on your heating bill by converting to safe, reliable natural gas from AOG? The savings can actually pay for your conversion cost. In addition, natural gas can deliver your energy needs on the coldest day, even when the power is out. Call 784-2000 or visit AOGC.com and switch to natural gas today. AOG, energy for life.
This is ESPN 95.3.
I sure do like those Christmas cookies, sugar. I sure do like those Christmas cookies, babe. The ones that look like Santa Claus, Christmas trees and bells and stars. I sure do like those Christmas cookies, babe.
Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
And welcome back to halftime on this hashtag Feel Free Wednesday. Drew Barrett, Matty T still holding down the fort in the fort and across all the great stations here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. We are joined by Clay Henry to talk all things Razorbacks, as we always are at this time. Before we bring Clay on, do want to let you know that Clay and this segment is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. Crabtree RV is a dealership that has been serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for over 70 years, located on 17 acres with a 2,600-foot showroom floor, conveniently located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma beside the Cracker Barrel. Crabtree RV Center gives each family the best experience, starting from choosing the right RV for their adventure to the service and parts department, plus everything needed in between. Crabtree RV, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years and 4 generations. be sure to go to their website at crabtreerv.com. Clay Henry joining us now. Clay, the season is almost over. One more game left to go. And so far through 12, just kind of grading out what we've seen throughout the regular season, is there any part of this season, either on the field, off the field, coaches-wise, that you don't feel like giving an automatic A to?
Yeah, I'd say the first quarter against Georgia, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah, that'd be a pretty big F.
Yeah, they actually in other parts of the game competed okay, but that first quarter was that was reminiscent of years past, and kind of made you nervous. But that was, I guess, a one-off, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Just really outside of the Georgia game, I don't think you could really complain of how things went through the other 11. And with Missouri, before we kind of get into the bowls and everything else that's going on in college football at the moment, the one thing that really stuck out from Missouri is, I guess, Tyler Beatty and his over 200 yards of rushing. Is that a concern going into the bowl game, or is it when you give the ball to anybody, especially with his type of talent, 41 times, he's probably going to get close to 200, if not over?
Yeah, I think that what you look at is, did he get any chunk plays? And he didn't. And they made him earn it. And I think the tackling was pretty good. And it was especially when you're ahead, and that's what Arkansas has got the lead, and that's still what Missouri wants to try to do. It's like, okay, we're just going to see how many yards he can get. We don't really care if we win the game or not.
Mm-hmm.
I was puzzled by that particular attack. They weren't giving up big plays in the running game, and they needed big plays to get back in the game. And I think Arkansas was real comfortable with the way Missouri tried to attack them.
Yeah, they definitely felt really comfortable, and especially since, that's kind of been the easiest part to this Arkansas defense all season long is, playing against the run. So when you have a team coming out trying to give one guy 41 carries, you don't really feel all that concerned. So going into this bowl game, and we know how much momentum bowl games can be, obviously for recruits. It's one more game. It's a national television wise. But how much stock do you put in personally to winning bowl games as far as it means of progress for a program? How much does winning it actually matter?
Well, if you're going to keep score, I think you ought to try to win the game.
Very true.
And I think that most coaches they want to win the game, and it helps them in recruiting. But there's other aspects that are important. You don't want. For instance, I can remember '95. Danny Ford decided the best way to enforce curfew at the CarQuest Bowl is to have 3 practice a day, and then nobody's going to miss curfew because they're too tired to go out. And you can overdo it, and you can make it where, all right, this is spring practice early. And I do think that there is something to, outside the championship games, that there ought to be a reward for the players. Let's don't overdo it. But I think that the early practices are really important. And I think you're going to lose Treylon Burks. You've got to figure out your wide receivers for next year. And I know there's potential for a high school player or guy in the portal, but by and large, the guys that you've got on your roster right now, you've got to figure out, can you rely on Ketron Jackson and Bryce Stevens and Warren Thompson and those guys that are on the roster right now? They're going to get to work, and you got to make sure your passing game is okay. And I'll point to Missouri. there was no threat at wide receiver for Missouri. And I know Barrett Bannister is a good player, but he's not going to beat you deep. And, Arkansas could cover and actually blitz a little bit because of there's not a threat at wide receiver. So you can't get in that position offensively where you have nobody that is going to take the top off the defense. And I think you've got to get those are two guys with speed at Arkansas, young players that you've got to get some snaps in the bowl game, and you got to get them a lot of work in December.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to overdo it, but you can't also underdo it, right? We don't need fights like we had against Florida State and Miami. Was that, I think, back in the 90s down on Bourbon Street.
Mississippi State. Yeah, Mississippi State and Tulsa last year.
Oh, yeah, definitely want to avoid that. Clay, we'll come back to you on the other side, talk more about the bowl game and everything else going on in the SEC West. 877-377-6963 is the number to contact us. Keep sending in those home remedies for me. Trying to get over it. Me and the missus got sick about the same time. She just texted me, said she's feeling a lot better. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be better tomorrow as we move forward throughout this week. But we'll be right back on the other side with Clay Henry. More on the Razorbacks and college football in general. So don't go anywhere. Right back here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half price. And all beers on tap are half price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
NWA Gold and Silver has moved to a new location in Fort Smith at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express. NWA Gold and Silver is always buying gold and silver, scrap, bullion, and coins. Plus, NWA Gold and Silver buys and sells jewelry of all kinds. Diamond rings, wedding bands, engagement rings, earrings, and more. Bring in your gold or silver today to the people that pay the most and have the best deals. NWA Gold and Silver in their new location at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express in Fort Smith.
Gray Steel Structures Incorporated is a family-owned business based in Greenwood specializing in steel structures. Owner Will Gray has 20 years experience doing the job right and making sure you're satisfied with the structure you have a need for. Gray Steel Structures serves both commercial and residential customers. Whatever your need may be, mini storage, RV storage, home workshop, or any metal building need, make Gray Steel Structures your first call. Gray Steel Structures, 252-2783. That's 252-2783.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start. Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Ask Tiffany Newman in Mulberry or Warren Robertson in Alma about Shelter's home insurance.
Make a Wake Bait and Tackle on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma has everything a fisherman needs. Rods, reels, tackle, plastics, all kinds of great baits to catch a wall hanger. Rods starting at $69.95. The biggest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reaction Innovation, Bobby Garland, Lake Fork Hugin, and more. And Make a Wake has Daiwa rods and reels, and they repair them too. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Need a tape measure that's extra tough and durable? Then stop into Metters Lumber True Value and grab the Stanley 2-pack Fat Max Tape Measure Set. This pack of two 25-foot tape measures is just $19.99. And with two in the pack, there's one for you and one for someone's Christmas stocking. The high-impact case with slip-resistant hold stands up to heavy use, and the 4-blade lock makes locking and unloading easy. Get this bargain of the month now while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value.
Did you know about 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime? Unfortunately, all treatment options can have side effects, like erectile dysfunction, urinary leakage, and bowel complications. However, SpaceOAR Hydrogel can help minimize your risk of side effects when used with radiation therapy. To learn more about the risks and benefits of SpaceOAR, visit spaceoar.com. That's spaceoar.com. Spaceoar.com. Sponsored by Boston Scientific.
I tell you, Jeb, I'm fed up with the heat, the bugs, the high prices. I'm going to look for a new place to live.
You going to call Ellie Gladwell? She helped you get this house.
Nah, the place I'm looking for is far away, way far away.
Why don't you sleep on it?
I done slept on it. I slept on it for 20 years. I got ideas, Jeb, big ideas. You wait, you'll see.
NickandEllie.com, Equal Housing Opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
This is ESPN 95.3.
It's Christmas time, I see the lines of people everywhere, trying to pick out the gifts that show how much they care. It makes me wish that I could see my friends on Christmas Day and fill my list with lots of gifts, but I can only say here comes a Merry Christmas straight to you.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Thank you, Mr. Announcer Man. As everyone knows, on Wednesdays when you hear the great pipes of George Strait, that can mean one thing and one thing only. That's what I was trying to say. Here we go. One thing and one thing only. That is Mr. Clay Henry. He joins us for a second segment here on Wednesday. And Clay, with the bowl game, and you're obviously, I'm pretty sure you're going to go, right? Regardless of where it is.
I haven't missed one yet, so I guess I probably will.
Okay.
I mean, there's things can happen between now and then, but right now I'd say, yep.
So what's
take Gene in, and yeah.
So which destination do you personally want, and which one do you, if you had to put money on it, do you think they'll get?
Well, despite what you might hear from someone, I think there are no bad bowls. So they're all good to me, and as long as you're with your family, and that's a fun time of year right after Christmas. I kind of like the idea of Tampa. Jacksonville is, to me, that's like going to Georgia. That's not really like going to South Florida. So Orlando or Tampa, those are the places that I would prefer. But I've always liked Houston. It can be nice this time of year, and Liberty Bowl is close, and there's some fun things to do in your hometown.
Yeah.
So I don't object to that. I'm not a Nashville guy. There's plenty of people that are that would enjoy that. It's not I'm not a honky tonk guy, so it's
not your cup of tea.
I like to. Yeah, that's not my cup of tea. So, but that, all those are good. I mean, it's when you win 8 games and you're, what's Arkansas, the 4th highest ranked SEC team now in the college football playoff, they're going to get a good bowl.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. They're going to get a good one, and honestly, at this point, where your program has been, only in year 2 with Sam Pittman, going back to Chad Morris and Brett Bielema, any bowl, I think, just like you said, is a good bowl. So having gone through the season, finished the regular season 8-4, ranked 22 in the second to last college football playoff ranking, kind of where would this season rank among the 21st century seasons, from 2000 on? Would it be a top 10, a top 5 season for Arkansas in the last 21 years?
Yeah, I think you'd have to say so. I mean, you can't wipe away the trip to the Sugar Bowl. I mean, that's the top. Sugar Bowl is pretty cool, and I always have enjoyed the Cotton Bowl. That means something pretty cool has happened. I would rate those two as above this. Beating Texas in the Houston Bowl, that's important, but it wasn't a very good Texas team, and it almost was like taking candy from a baby. While I like that, it was, it wasn't like you were getting the best candy. It wasn't Reese's peanut butter cups. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I definitely feel you on that. It was kind of just like, you feel good about obviously beating Texas, but you don't feel, as good as you probably have or would in years past. I
mean, Drew, I enjoyed this Texas victory this year more than I did that one, because I thought that Texas was actually a threat at that time. It turned out maybe that wasn't a good Texas team, but we didn't know that then, and it was meaningful. And there's nothing better than seeing the students come out on the field and celebrate. That was a pretty, that's so far back in September that we forget that was a lot of fun, as were some of these other games this year.
Yeah, anytime you get the chance to storm the field, especially, as a student, I got the opportunity to do it at my alma mater when I was still a student back in 2015 when we pulled off one of the biggest wins in program history. It's something that you never forget, and I guarantee it's something that those students on the Hill will never forget. And, maybe an opponent that you might storm the field against one day would possibly be LSU after winning the boot, if LSU's ranked in the top 5, and it's one of those classic matchups. And coming along with that matchup starting next season will be the addition of Brian Kelly as the head coach at LSU. What are your thoughts? Did that kind of come out of nowhere for, like it did for me and a lot of other people, to you, Brian Kelly to LSU? And how successful do you think he's going to be?
Yeah, I thought he might go somewhere. I didn't put those two together. There's just something about the way he's acted this year doing interviews that he seemed kind of bored with everything, and that I don't know. I thought perhaps that he would make a move, but again, I didn't think LSU. I thought maybe Southern Cal. So those two got flipped in my mind. Hey, I want to give you a home remedy, if that's okay.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, so I was watching one of my favorite shows is Beat Bobby Flay. And the winning concoction, or the thing that beat Bobby last night, a Jewish chef made matzo ball soup, and he says that is the Jewish penicillin.
Okay.
And I know that Phil would give you the exact recipe for that, but my fill-in for a good Baptist boy is chicken and dumplings, and it's the same thing. You make that stock with a whole chicken, you boil it for half a day. You get the house smelling, with that good richness of that chicken stock, and then you get the vegetables to go in it, and a little garlic, a little oregano, and you're going to have something that opens up your sinuses in your house, your apartment. And it's going to take you 2 or 3 hours to make it, and it's going to have that that water boiling, and it's going to humidify your place, and it's going to help your sinuses. And then when you eat that soup, it's just going to open you up and just make you feel good. And I think that's the way to go. It's I finished it off with some biscuits, but you can get just biscuits in a can for your dumplings to go on top. So that's my home recipe to get your sinuses working again.
Well, I appreciate it, Clay. I'll definitely try it out tonight and see if I can't go. I'll have to go to the store and get a lot of stuff to make it with, but it sounds like an easy idea.
Need a whole chicken.
Chicken, okay.
Yeah, big pot to boil it in.
I got a big pot.
You're going to debone it, and you're going to have chicken soup is what it amounts to. But it's going to be homemade, and it's going to, while it's cooking, it's going to open up your sinuses with the humidity that it adds to your place. That's dry air this time of year is bad for your sinuses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is Grandpa Clay preaching now, okay?
Hey, well, I appreciate it. I'll definitely take you up on your advice. I'll start it tonight, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, I just want to tell you, you sound good on the air. Maybe being sick changes your pipes a little bit, but you sound good, so don't worry about that.
Well, I appreciate it. Before we let you go, I do want to ask you one last question here. We're talking about Brian Kelly, the type of money that's been thrown around with his new deal, $9.5 million, 10-year contract. Reports of possibly $100 million for Lincoln Riley. Do you think Arkansas could ever get to that point where they could afford to pay top 10 type of money like that?
Winning cures everything, and there's still some premium seats that are available in that stadium, and you keep adding to it. And I think that there's going to be a windfall from the next TV contract that's going to help everybody, and it's going to add money in the budget. It might be as much as 5 to 8 more millions. So yeah, I mean, winning is it'd be nice if you won enough that you had to pay a coach like that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that honestly, that would be ideal, right, Clay? You'd want to be, in order to pay a coach that much, you've got to be a top 10 program, and I think everybody would accept that pay raise and paying that extra money to have a program like that. Well, Clay, I appreciate you joining me, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Clay. That is Clay Henry. On the other side, we'll revisit some more college football, talk some college basketball, the craziness that has been going on with national writer David Cobb from CBS Sports on all things college football and college basketball related. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with hour number 2 of Halftime. Drew Barrett, Matty T, right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Wake up your happy at Hardee's with the new $3 French toast dips. Wait, what? French toast dips sprinkled with powdered sugar and served with a side of syrup. Sugary, syrupy, dippable. Sweeten up your morning at Hardee's. Try the new $3 French toast dips at Hardee's. The sweet one on the 2-3 more breakfast menu. Feed your happy. Available during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
This is a special announcement for residents of Ozone, Oark, Lake Ludwig, Harmony, Mount Vernon, areas north and west of Clarksville. Wave Rural Connect is coming to you. The Clarksville Zone is opening on December 9th, bringing big city internet to rural Johnson County. Fiber internet, TV, and phone provided by Arkansas Valley Electric, a local company serving local residents. Visit waveruralconnect.com for more. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies are high this afternoon into the upper 60s. Mainly clear, low to mid 40s tonight. And then Thursday, sunny skies are high near 75. Friday, back to sunshine, are high near 75 degrees. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Carco Auto Sales. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromcarco.com.
Proceed. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
And welcome into hour number 2 of the program. It is halftime. Drew Barrett, Matty T, holding down the fort in the fort. Phil Elson traveling right now. Should be landing in Orlando sometime soon. I think they left at about 10 o'clock for their matchup against Central Florida later on for the women's Razorbacks program. But we got tons of stuff to get into here in the last hour on a hump day on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Bringing in a friend of the show, I don't even know why I paused. It's that sickness, man. It's all the medicine, the sinus stuff.
I heard your voice crack too.
It did, man. It's been making me so slow and so groggy that's why I need to either try Clay's Chicken and Dumplings. I need to try JT and Hot Springs 8 shots of bourbon with honey and tea in it. Like, I need to try something. So hopefully by this time tomorrow, I'll be 100% and 100% ready to go. But one thing I know that Mr. David Cobb from CBS Sports on college football and college basketball, one thing I 100% know, David, is that you somehow, being a kid from Memphis, went to school in Knoxville, worked in Chattanooga, and now nationally for CBS Sports, somehow you have your pulse on the Big Ten. Like, how are you so good at Big Ten predictions?
It's funny, isn't it? Yeah, so I was the only one on our staff last night who picked Ohio State to win, to beat Duke. And, of course, for 35 minutes of that game, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. In fact, I had actually forgotten that I was the only one who picked Ohio State until about an hour after the game. So I went to get the screen grab from CBSSports.com and put it on there. And I mean, it's just kind of for fun, really. But I was also the only one on our staff who picked Iowa to win the Big Ten West. So yeah, I'm an SEC guy kind of by nature, but I have no problem with some bold takes on the Big Ten, and a few of them have made me look smart. Now, of course, I don't post the screen grabs of the picks I make that look really dumb. But it's been fun just like interacting with new fan bases because they all seem to really appreciate it when I go out on a limb and take their team.
Hey, well, you never want to admit when you're wrong, but always want to boaster when you're right. And one thing about this college basketball season that has been a little nutty, it's been a little crazy as it always is around this time, like you said, Duke lost to Ohio State last night. Ohio State, who lost previously to Xavier. Xavier that lost to Iowa State. They beat Memphis. So are you telling me last Saturday Memphis lost to the best team in the country? Is that how that works?
Yeah, right. Like, you can do so many of those extrapolations at this point in the season already. I mean, just look at Ohio State. Like, they beat Duke last night, but they got taken down to the wire by Akron, the first week of the season. So is Akron on par with Duke? I don't know, but it makes the games fun. The parity, obviously, we're enjoying the parity in college football this year a lot, and that's what college basketball thrives on. I mean, last season was kind of a weird year where Gonzaga and Baylor actually dominated all year and ended up playing each other. This year has the makings of a crazy season in college basketball because it's going to end up being a little bit of a revolving door at number one, it seems like. So, I mean, I'm real curious to see what the AP voters do with that number one spot next week. I assume it'll go to Purdue, but, Purdue's not going to go undefeated in the Big Ten. And if they've got to decide at some point between Gonzaga and Duke, what sort of influence does Duke's head-to-head win have on that? It's going to be a fun year in college hoops because I think the parity is going to be really strong.
Oh, it definitely will. And I believe last time we had you on, I asked about, overrated or underrated, kind of going into the season. And now that we've started the year, I want to ask about, the SEC in particular, obviously sitting here in the middle of Razorback country and, covering Arkansas. They're number 10 in the country. You've got six, I believe six SEC teams ranked in the AP top 25. Through this short sample size, how have you perceived the SEC thus far, and were they overrated going in the year, underrated, and also kind of your thoughts on Arkansas thus far?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the SEC on a whole has delivered to this point. There haven't been just a ton of catastrophic or super ugly losses. Like, I mean, you go out and look at the Pac-12, that league has suffered some really bad losses. And for the sake of this conversation, let's exclude Georgia because, I mean, they're a train wreck.
Yes, they are.
It would take a miracle for them to beat Memphis tonight. But, so on the whole, the SEC has been really, really strong. And, in fact, I would even say a little bit surprising in the fact that Florida, it looks like it could be a legitimate national player. Texas A&M somehow is better, even though really when you look at the roster, it doesn't look like it should be better. And then, it looks like Mississippi State could get in the mix as well. So going into the year, I kind of had that top five, Arkansas, Auburn, Alabama, Kentucky, and Tennessee, in whatever order you wanted to put them. And then after that, I was a little bit more uncertain. But to this point, Florida, and for that matter, LSU, a team I hadn't mentioned yet, they're undefeated too. So the depth looks really good. And I think there's a chance for the league to get, up to 8 teams maybe in the NCAA tournament. And then obviously Arkansas has been good so far. I don't know that they've really been tested, though. I mean, Cincinnati's better than most people thought they would be. But Kansas State is garbage. No offense to Bruce Weber, but I don't know. I mean, it's not the heaviest non-conference schedule for Arkansas. So they're kind of creeping up the polls, but I don't think it's because they've just dominated anybody yet or have an impressive win. They're just taking care of business. And to their credit, that's not always the easiest thing to do when you're working a bunch of new players into your rotation in November. And they've done that so far. So I still have questions on Arkansas. I mean, I think with everything they lost, you've got to kind of wait and see with this team. But, so far so good.
Yeah, that's the thing about this time of the year, not only just for Arkansas, for a lot of programs, it's trying to figure out rotations, trying to figure out meshing, it's trying to figure out who's going to work well with who on the floor. And when you have this type of team that Arkansas has, and a lot of teams in today's college basketball has, where it's one and dones, it's reload in the transfer portal, it's a constant rotation of guys in and guys out of the program. What are your feelings on, kind of non-conference scheduling, through November into December before you get into conference play? Is it better to take hey, let's make sure that we don't get embarrassed. Let's win some games. Let's schedule cupcakes here and there. We'll schedule medium type of opponents. That way we build some confidence up, can figure out what works best for us? Or is it better to kind of, like a lot of, like Duke, like Gonzaga, like Kentucky and Kansas do, to kind of front load their schedule, figure out what's not working against top talent? That way, by the time they get to conference play where it really matters, they've got it figured out. Which one do you think is the better aspect, the best route to take?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of playing marquee non-conference games because the way that everything sets up now in college basketball with the formula used by the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee, you're really not penalized for losing a game that ends up being a quad one. And so quad one, if you look at it on a neutral court, that's anybody in the top 50 on a neutral court. So you can lose to a team that's not even considered elite on a neutral court, and it's still a quad one loss that's not really going to hurt you come NCAA tournament selection time. So a game like that can only help you. And then on the other end, a quad 4 win does nothing for you, and a quad 3 win does very little. So, I mean, I'm an advocate of playing quality non-conference opponents. I think you got to take it on a year-by-year basis, though, because, I look at Iowa, for example. They lost so much from last year. Luka Garza, obviously, but in addition to him, they also lost Joe Wieskamp. They also lost C.J. Frederick, Jack Nungy. Anyway, they play a super easy non-conference schedule this year. And I think that benefits them because it gives them time to figure out who they are. And so maybe that's Musselman's approach. And, he's the type of coach who I give the benefit of the doubt to on a lot of things because he's shown he's kind of on the cutting edge of whatever's the new thing in college basketball. He's kind of a few years ahead. And, so I would prefer, I think, to see teams play tougher non-conference schedules. I don't think it can hurt you in any way. But I think it's a case-by-case basis. And, in Arkansas's case, they've chosen to take the easier route this year. And I'll say this also, I mean, you can want to schedule big-time non-conference games. It doesn't always work out. I mean, it's really difficult logistically sometimes to get the type of schedule together that you want that works with certain dates, that works with your academic calendar, that works with your commitments to those multi-team events that so many programs, play in. So, they had no way of knowing whenever this multi-team event was set that, Kansas State would be terrible again. And, it is what it is. But I think Arkansas is fine. And the other thing I would say on non-conference scheduling is please, can we stop starting the best college basketball games like at 9:30 in the Central Time Zone?
100%.
I mean, my gosh, like my eye has been twitching for the last 2 weeks because I'm not getting any sleep because I'm staying up till 1 a.m. writing about these games.
David, I also produce the morning show, so I go to bed at 9:30 because I have to get up at 4:20. So these national marquee games that everybody's been excited for, I have not gotten to watch a second of it. So I'm 100% on that. We're speaking with David Cobb, national sports writer for CBS Sports on college football and college basketball. David, just a few more things as we only got a few more minutes. Do want to get your opinion on the coaching carousel and everything that's gone on, Lincoln Riley to USC, and then your opinion on Brian Kelly to LSU. And, you being more of a national guy working at CBS Sports, did you ever hear Brian Kelly's name thrown out? Because when I first got the notification of the report that it's being reported that Brian Kelly is going to LSU, that was the first time his name had ever crossed my mind for that job.
And, I mean, there was always this idea of, like, if Brian Kelly was going to make another career move, this would be the time to do it. But I didn't think he would really do it because, I mean, how many jobs out there are really better than Notre Dame? I mean, you could really argue whether or not LSU is actually a better job than Notre Dame. I don't think you can argue, though, that it's easier to win a national title at LSU than it is at Notre Dame. It's also a whole lot easier to go, 5-7 and get everybody mad at you than it is at Notre Dame probably. But the potential for him to do something he's never done before is there. So, I mean, I was as shocked as anybody. I think probably even more shocked than the Lincoln Riley move. The Riley move makes a lot of sense when you really step back and think about this guy still not being 40 years old and having plateaued perhaps at Oklahoma when that school is about to go to the toughest conference in America. Now we can go out to the Pac-12, have a sleeping giant, the nicest team in that conference and a conference that's really struggling, and really dominate out there. So I mean, I get that one a lot more than I get Kelly to LSU, but I guess it's a last ditch effort for a 60-year-old coach to climb that final summit and win a national title. Can't sit here and guarantee you it's going to go well. I mean, I wouldn't be at all surprised if it's up in flames after 3 years. But by the same token, I mean, if you told me you won a national title there in 3 or 4 years, that wouldn't shock me either. There's just so much volatility at LSU, and I think Brian Kelly is looking at that and seeing the high end of that, and the end of that where Ed Ogeron and Les Miles can compete for national titles there. Surely he can. So it's been a nutty coaching carousel, and the fact is Notre Dame and Oklahoma are still open.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like we've been through a whirlwind already in the last few days, and two of the best jobs in the sport still have to make hires.
Yeah, David, real quick, got about 30 seconds before we have to take the break. Give me your CFP Final Four. Who gets in this time next week?
Yeah, I've got Georgia beating Alabama in the SEC title game and knocking Alabama out. So I think Michigan beats Iowa. Those two are the clear-cut locks. And then Cincinnati would be in there, I think probably number 3 for me. And then I suspect Oklahoma State beats Baylor in the Big 12 title game, and that ends up being the 4. Georgia, Michigan, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma State. But boy, there's a part of me that wants to see Notre Dame go in without a coach and win the thing now. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, it would. Well, David, I appreciate you joining us. Appreciate you giving us some of your time, and we'll talk to you later on down the college basketball season. Sound good?
All right, sounds good.
Thank you. That is David Cobb from CBS Sports on college football and college basketball. Another thing about David, he's an outdoorsy guy. He likes to exercise, so I'm sure he would love to try to win this. Our good prize from Champion Cycling wants to help you find the joy in cycling and help you be a part of their family for many years, whether your child's getting their first bike as an adult who hasn't been biking in years, or someone who's looking to possibly podium at their next race. Champion Cycling, they want to help you find the right bike. A great selection of bikes, foreign brands, across the board. Anything that you're looking for, you can find it at Champion Cycling in Fort Smith. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, change my mind, a few other things, and of course, as always, we'll have Bill King at the bottom of this hour. Don't go anywhere. Right back. ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO. We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source.
Internet, TV, and phone provided by Arkansas Valley Electric, a local company serving local residents. Visit WaveRuralConnect.com for more. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
This is ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Welcome back to Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. Phil Elson out today. He'll be back tomorrow, I believe, from Orlando, or I'm not sure how his schedule. He hasn't told me how his schedule's working. I think he'll be broadcasting live from Orlando tomorrow, but Drew Barrett, Matty T holding down the fort here in Arkansas and across the natural state.
So we had one regular on the show ditch us today.
We did. But is the second one going to ditch us? Because I know we had David.
We took his segment away.
I took his segment away. I did. I'm sorry for that.
He's off.
Oh, no.
No, he didn't.
Tuna
Tuna can Charlie.
Oh, tuna. We were going to have this.
Set us up to let us
We
down.
had a short segment here, too. So, I was going to just give you the floor. You had 3-4 minutes to talk. You've got, a couple minutes to call us back, Tuna, if you got a second.
Was it the Christmas music that turned him off?
Is he not a big Run DMC fan?
Well, I thought you said after Thanksgiving you can play Christmas music.
I did say that it is allowed.
And this song is featured in the biggest holiday movie ever, Die Hard. So.
Oh, goodness gracious, Matty T. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Bruce Willis himself.
Christmas time doesn't officially start until you've watched Die Hard.
I can watch Die Hard any time of the year and not think of Christmas because it's an action movie. If Bruce Willis himself, the man of Die Hard, says that it's not a Christmas movie, then it's not a Christmas movie. I mean, it's that simple.
What does he know anyways?
I mean, he's in the movie.
Yeah, but all his movies now are going straight to on-demand video.
So Die Hard is a Christmas movie, according to you and everybody, and a lot of people out there, right? Is Die Hard 2?
There's Snow.
Is that a Christmas movie?
That's also a Christmas movie.
Is A Good Day to Die Hard or whatever the third or fourth or how many has he made now?
Okay,
like 5 of them?
I can speak on this because
I've only seen the original Die Hard.
Yesterday, I actually bought a Blu-ray box set because it came with the digital copies. There's Die Hard. There's Die Hard 2. There's my favorite is Die Hard with a Vengeance with Sam Jackson. Then there's A Good Day to Die Hard, and then there's then there's Live Free and Die Hard, and then there's A Good Day to Die Hard. And A Good Day to Die Hard is the worst one.
Okay.
Where all of a sudden he gets together with a son that you've never seen before.
Oh, he had a son?
Yeah.
He had a different son. Okay, that just makes perfect sense.
But in the fourth one, you meet his daughter.
Oh,
so by the fifth one, you meet it. Yeah. And I know
because he has a daughter. He has a daughter in the first one because that's who the bear is for, right? He brings
correct.
Yep. Brings the bear, and
so she's referenced at least.
Yes, she is referenced. I think you might see a picture of her on his wife's desk, But as far as that, so like at least it does tie it in. But just to make up a random son, I'm guessing, do they go and shoot bad guys?
Yeah, I believe they're in Russia. I've only seen the fifth one
Do
time
they
so
fight
far.
Russians all the time? All 5 of them? Are they always against the Russians?
In the fifth one, or
in all
of the
all 5
movies?
of
That's
them.
right. That's who the bad guys.
The bad guys are
that's
Russians
right,
the whole times?
Yeah.
Okay.
It appears so.
Do they all take place at Yakatomi Plaza
No,
or
the
whatever?
fifth one
it says?
actually takes place in Russia.
Okay.
They actually go over there.
Do all 4 of them take?
All
do the
5?
other? Do 2, 3, 4 also take place at the same place that number 1 does?
No, number 3 was in New York City.
Okay, so he goes back to New York.
The fourth one is also, I believe that's New York City.
I've learned more about Die Hard in the last 3 minutes than I have in my entire life. I've literally seen the first one, and I kind of got the picture of it. You know, I've seen every Rocky, except I haven't seen the Creed movies yet. But I don't think that counts against me.
I feel like the Creed movies fit in with the Rocky movies. Those could just
See,
be
I haven't seen them because you can't like stream Creed 1. You have to go buy it, and I don't really feel like it's worth my $3.99 at this point. Maybe it will be this time next week, but as of now, so I've seen all the Rocky movies. Maybe I guess I need to expand my horizons and watch all the Die Hards.
Have you seen Die Hard with a Vengeance?
I have
That's
not.
the third one. That's my favorite one. I honestly think Die Hard 2 sucks.
Okay.
So I would, I'm like Die Hard 1 and Die Hard 3. For some reason, I decided to buy all 5 of them. Got to have the collection.
Well, you know, Die Hard, Bruce Willis, he's a bad man. But even bad men, you know, unfortunately, because did you know 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime? Unfortunately, all treatment options can have side effects like erectile dysfunction, urinary leakage, and bowel complications. However, Space or Hydrogel can help minimize your risks of side effects when used with radiation therapy. To learn more about the risk and benefits of Space or visit spaceoar.com. Spaceoar.com. We'll be right back on the other side with Bill King, the king of college football.
Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. 4 generations making your family dreams come true.
Did you know about 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime? Unfortunately, all treatment options can have side effects like erectile dysfunction, urinary leakage, and bowel complications. However, Space or Hydrogel can help minimize your risk of side effects when used with radiation therapy. To learn more about the risks and benefits of Space or, visit spaceoar.com. That's spaceoar.com. Spaceoar.com. Sponsored by Boston Scientific.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo! Hey, Siri!
Hey, Hog fans, have you tried the new Snout Snacks from Rub It Snout? Smoked cashews, pork rinds, seasoned with Rub It Snout signature all grub rubs. Go to rubbitsnout.com to place your order. Rub It Snout ships anywhere in the U.S. and offers free local delivery. Please like and share our pages on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Rub It Snout.
Spread the rub.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer. Pours like every other seltzer. But it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal. So you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
So this one time at B-Dubs, a couple of friends came in for football, and they asked for the best seats in the house, which is kind of a trick question. Since we've got wall-to-wall TVs, you can watch the game in any direction. Kind of makes every seat in the house the best seat in the house. So when I explained all that, they just sat at the bar, because you got to be close to the beer on game days. Come into Buffalo Wild Wings for the absolute best game day experience the NFL can offer. Buffalo Wild Wings, to the greatest of all times.
Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Please drink responsibly.
Frank Roll Furniture is continuing our sale through the end of December on all furniture, bedroom, mattresses, and kitchen tables. We are marking everything down another 10% off our already low sale prices for the month of December. We have appliances on sale also. For instance, GE Commercial Grade washer $9.99, dryer $9.99. Comes with a 5-year parts and labor warranty, 10 years on the motor, and a lifetime on the drain tub. Frank Roll Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph. Randolph ain't too far behind.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. The Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, Hog Reaction, Coffee with Counsel, Huddle Up, and Fantasy Football Sunday. All available on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just type Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Our podcasts are on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, HitThatLine.com, Anchor, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Google Play. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center.
And welcome back to Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. About to be joined to talk all things college football by Bill King. Before we bring Bill on, do want to let you know that Bill King is brought to you, and this segment is brought to you by The Fence Man. If you've always wanted a powered automatic gate at your home or business but don't know who to call, let me tell you about The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man does it all. Custom rod, iron installations, automatic gates, controlled access system, cameras, security installments, and lots more. Ask about 18 months, same as cash financing for your custom fence and gate needs. You have to call the Fence Man, 479-782-3939. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. Bill King joins us, the king of college football. Unfortunately, I haven't had Bill on the last few weeks. Glad that he is able to join us this week in the craziness of college football between the end of the regular season into championship week. You got hirings, you got firings, you got championship games, bowl game announcements, and everything else in between. Bill, in this crazy part of the season, what is your favorite debate to have? Is it the coaching carousel? Is it the CFP screwed us, screwed this, screwed that up? Is it just about the championship games itself? Good afternoon, Bill. Thanks for joining us.
Well, I'll answer that this way. We got all the way to Wednesday and hadn't even talked about the championship games. We got all the way to about halfway through today. I had a couple of questions about it on the show, but really hadn't even gotten to Georgia, Alabama much. It's been all Notre Dame, coaching, Lincoln Riley, LSU, and the fit or not fit with Brian Kelly. That's what it's been. I'd say 90-something% today.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's been that type of situation for this show. And I mean, we haven't really dove into any of the championship games outside of mentioning that you can hear a few this weekend on these great ESPN Arkansas stations. But outside of that, it's been about the coaching carousel. It's been about a little bit about the CFP. And, you know, you brought up Brian Kelly and I think the biggest, most shocking move out of the coaching carousel that we've had this season. What type of fit do you think he is at LSU? Does he finish his 10 years? And does he finally get off the list of best to never win one?
He is a really good coach. And what he's done at Notre Dame, that place was broken when he got there.
Mm-hmm.
He's never been a super aggressive 24-hour-a-day recruiter. And at LSU, you are supposed to and should sign Johnny Five-Star regularly. And he signed a whole lot of good players, but he is not obsessed like Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, when it comes to recruiting. He's going to be in a wonderful area to get a lot of players organically, but that's going to be interesting. And again, Brian Kelly has calmed down a lot through the years. He's not the hothead he was when he first got the job 12 years ago, but he still runs hot and cold. And that's going to be interesting because LSU is peculiar, not the same way Notre Dame is, but it's equally peculiar. And he's going to have to adjust to that culture. And again, he moved into the same neighborhood with Nick Saban.
Bill, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you had something a little bit more to say there, but yeah, going off of that, in moving to the SEC West, where it is so hard to win, and you talk about, he's saying how he wants to win that national championship. Is it easier to kind of, because the path, if you can make it out of the gauntlet that is the SEC West, you pretty much have a clear-cut path to the Final Four. Whereas when Notre Dame, you still might need some help. So is it easier to win at LSU than it is at Notre Dame because of how much you have to go through?
Yes and no, and I'll explain the reasoning for that. The LSU, particularly, let's say the last 20 years, has, on average, signed better talent than Notre Dame. And that leads you further down the road, particularly if you're well coached. You got to be well coached with that talent. But if you got all that in line, but Notre Dame has an easier pathway. They're 11-1 this year with a rebuilding team, and I don't know that they would lose to Cincinnati if they played them now, the way they're playing. Now, again, they played and they lost, but so if the right guy gets the Notre Dame job, Marcus Freeman or Luke Fickell, and they recruit better than Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly recruited top 12 type classes. The next guy needs to recruit top 5 classes, which you can at Notre Dame. If they do that at Notre Dame, the pathway there is probably easier because you're not bumping into Nick Saban until you get, into December and January.
Yeah, you kind of want to prolong that type of meeting with Nick Saban and a lot of the other powerhouses in the SEC. The other big movement of this coaching carousel cycle has obviously been Lincoln Riley to USC, leaving that hole there in Norman, Oklahoma. Whether he's a trader, whether it's business, depending on whether you're a fan or not, is kind of how I feel about how people are reacting to it. But as far as Bob Stoops taking over for the interim title, going to coach the bowl game, that was honestly a little weird to me as well. Do you think he has any aspirations of sticking on as a full-time guy? And if not, who do you think is maybe the perfect candidate out there to lead Boomer Sooner?
This is, I would say, just like Barry Alvarez. Now, Barry Alvarez was the AD at Wisconsin, but a couple of times he had to step in and coach a Rose Bowl. And that was natural. Bob Stoops is still a paid employee at Oklahoma, just as I don't know what category they put him over, but he's got a place there. And that's the easiest route, is to let him hold it until they get the hire. And no, I don't think there's any aspirations or he's trying to take it back. You got to remember, Bob Stoops there is God. He's at least equal to Barry Switzer, at least equal to Bud Wilkinson, and he's more updated. He's modern, right?
Yeah.
They love him. And he's out recruiting for them right now. He's been in California. He's legally, NCAA-wise, able to go out and recruit for them until they find out who the next coach is going to be. And for a while, it sounded like Brent Venables, which I didn't necessarily think that was the best fit. That's kind of cooled down a little bit, so we'll see what happens.
We're speaking with Bill King, the king of college football from Nashville Radio. Bill, a few more things before we let you go. I do want to get your opinion on the championship games themselves, but before we get to that, do you have some new coaching kind of news that's come around the SEC in the last 24 hours? Mark Stoops extension and agreement to stay at Kentucky. Were you kind of shocked that he went ahead and took the extension, or and kind of gave up on possibly filling one of these bigger roles, maybe at a Notre Dame, at an OU, at another job? And also the forms of the agreement of, if he wins, I think it's if he wins 7 to 9 games, he gets an automatic year added on, and then anything over 9 is another 2. What were your thoughts on his extension?
He's at a basketball school where he's winning in football, and he's safe forever. And he's making $6-7 million bucks.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's not taxed a lot. He lives in a very reasonable place. The assistants are happy. He doesn't, at least for now, doesn't want to go get into a, hey, every morning, just remember, win or die.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying someday he doesn't take that chance, but as of right now, he's not going to do that. He is. I know a lot of people, they are very happy. Kentucky football is a very happy place. I'm not surprised.
For the championship games, though, this week, the 3 that stand out to me, and I think that have probably the biggest playoff contention, is obviously SEC, Big Ten, and the Big 12. Out of those 3, which game are you most excited to see this week?
Guys, this has happened only one other time in 30-something years doing this. I'm not going to get to see the game.
Really?
Because I'm going to monitor them. My son is in the state championship game in Chattanooga for his high school, and there's no way I missed that, right? It's his last game in high school, and they're playing for state championship. I will follow that on Twitter, but no. The game I'm most interested in is obviously Alabama-Georgia. Does Georgia get Alabama's best punch, which Alabama really hasn't delivered yet this year?
Mm-hmm.
And do they even have that in them? Georgia looks like the better team. I think everybody agrees there. But if I'm Kirby Smart, I'm preparing to see Nick Saban's best effort. He's got all this to tell his team. Look, guys, Nick Saban has the ability to sell his team. We're an underdog. We're supposed to lose. You know when the last time that was? A Georgia game 5-6 years ago, the blackout game where they destroyed Georgia, and then the 2009 SEC championship game. Alabama is never an underdog in a game, guys. And Nick Saban with the ability to sell that to his team is a scary thought. Georgia's the better team, but that's the game I'm interested in most.
Last thing before we let you go, Bill, when we talk to you this time next Wednesday, who is the Final Four in the CFP?
Wow. Georgia, Michigan, Oklahoma State, probably should be Notre Dame, and I know they're head-to-head with Cincinnati. But Notre Dame might not even have a coach then. The committee has said that could be a problem for us. So I'm going to say Cincinnati.
All right, I'm all for it if that's the way that it plays out. I think that'd be a great Final Four. Bill, I appreciate you joining us, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks. That is Bill King, the king of college football of Nashville Radio. When we come back, we'll close out the show, close out your hump day, close out your Wednesday with a little change my mind. I do want to let you know that this last segment of the show is brought to you by William Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas. They invite you to see the new RF Series fixed chamber round barrel from New Holland. They're simple, tough, and affordable, and make it easy to create quality bales in a wide range of conditions. They're the perfect choice for smaller livestock farms, sundowners, and rural lifestylers. William Tractor can help you choose from 3 Model 1s for 4x4 bales and 2 for 4x5 bales, and ask them about their zero down financing offers and choose cash discounts. RF Series round balers, modern productivity, proven simplicity.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say.
At 5500 Massard Road is a locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith that wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been a part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling is totally stocked and has a large selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is always ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling today at 5500 Massard Road, and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
Make a Wake Bait and Tackle on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma has everything a fisherman needs. Rods, reels, tackle, plastics, all kinds of great baits to catch a wall hanger. Rods starting at $69.95. The biggest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reaction Innovation, Bobby Garland, Lake Fork Coogan, and more. And Make a Wake has Daiwa rods and reels, and they repair them too. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
NWA Gold and Silver has moved to a new location in Fort Smith at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express. NWA Gold and Silver is always buying gold and silver, scrap, bullion, and coins. Plus, NWA Gold and Silver buys and sells jewelry of all kinds. Diamond rings, wedding bands, engagement rings, earrings, and more. Bring in your gold or silver today to the people that pay the most and have the best deals. NWA Gold and Silver in their new location at 4600 Rogers Avenue across from Med Express in Fort Smith.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Shelter agents Tiffany Newman or Warren Robertson about a free insurance review.
Finding an assisted living or senior care facility is one of the most important decisions you'll ever make. Choose the best. Hope's Creek in Van Buren. At Hope's Creek, your loved one will be in apartment-style living, eating 3 home-style meals daily, and receive the care and services they need. The round-the-clock nursing staff monitors health needs in a secure, monitored environment. Plus, you can check on your loved one anytime with 24-hour access. Stop by for a visit at 2502 Fayetteville Road, or check out Hope's Creek online at hopescreek.com.
With over 40 years combined experience, the team at the law offices of Craig L. Cook understand the definition of work. Real work. Working for you. Whether you've been injured in an auto accident, on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help navigating bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
TGI Fridays is the best place in Fort Smith for food, fun, and football. Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has your favorite beers on tap. And Thursday through Sunday for bar football, all drafts are just $2. Fridays is the best place to watch football with plenty of TVs so you won't miss a second of the action while enjoying famous Fridays appetizers like the loaded potato skins or Friday's signature whiskey glazed sliders. It's food, fun, and football with $2 drafts Thursday through Sunday at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Down in the workshop, all the elves were making toys for the good Gentile girls and the good Gentile boys. When the boss busted in, nearly scared him half to death. Had a rifle in his hands and cheap whiskey on his breath. From his beard to his boots, he was covered with ammo, like a big fat drunk, disgruntled Yuletide Rambo. And he smiled as he said, with a twinkle in his eye, Merry Christmas to all, now you're all gonna die. The night Santa went crazy.
Are you entered to win free mortgage for a year? Go to hitthatline.com for more details. Brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Matt Fowler at Highlands Residential Mortgage and Mountain Home. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Welcome back to Halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Matty, I'm proud of myself. I actually knew that one.
I wonder.
I did know
I
that
saw
one.
Betty poked her head in here, like looking like, what the hell is going on? Do you think it was because of the song?
I'm guessing it was
This is
because of
just
the
a
song.
Weird Al classic, and it's for Phil, who's not here today. So
don't worry, Phil will be back tomorrow on the program. Drew Barrett,
fingers
Matty
crossed.
T.
For your sake, let's hope he's back tomorrow.
Whoa. I thought we'd done a decent job. I messed up on like one live read. Like,
It's been.
I
Good.
mean,
You're
I
doing
get
a
it.
good job.
Sponsors probably.
You've been hacking and coughing the entire show.
And I've made it through. We've made it through.
Almost.
We've
almost made it
got
through.
about 10 minutes left, and we still got to change my mind. But Tuna called back. Charlie's called back. So, Charlie, since you called it a different time and you hung up on us before, I've got to keep you to 1 minute. So you have 1 minute on the clock.
That's fine.
You go ahead.
Hey.
What do you got for me?
That's fine. I'll be quick. Listen, I wanted to ask about, good Lord, you guys do miss Phil today. Jeez. Anyway, Drew, you're doing such a great job, man.
I appreciate it.
Anyway,
45 seconds.
All right. I was going to say, I wanted to ask about KK Robinson. You know, he started the first game. I wonder what is happening. Is he like in the doghouse? We got attitude issues there going on, or what? That's the first thing. And before I hang up, I just want to say, hopefully the Hogs get in the Citrus Bowl, and in my opinion, they deserve it over Kentucky and A&M because, in my opinion, they beat A&M, and, well, the SEC East is weak. So I'll say that, and I'll hang up and listen. I'll call tomorrow and when Phil's back on so I can talk a little
Time's
bit
up.
longer. You're hurting my feelings.
I'm sorry, Charlie. Like, I've got so many things to fit in here within the last 5-6 minutes. And to answer your question, and we'll elaborate on it a little bit more tomorrow, I don't think he's in the doghouse. I think you're just trying to figure out rotations, trying to figure out playing time. And, you know, we've seen multiple games where different guys have played different minutes or different guys haven't played at all. So I don't think that there's an attitude adjustment needed, or that he's in the doghouse, or that he's not as good as everybody expected him to be this season. I think it's just working it out. And I think especially against a 1-6 Bear team from Central Arkansas tonight, you should see him, and, you know, maybe even Eric Musselman opening up the rotation. Before we get out of here, it is Wednesday, so we have to do it as soon as are you ready? Is Matty T ready?
Drew, I was born ready.
Of course you were born ready. It's time for Change My Mind.
Did she just change my mind?
Now, I don't care what you say.
Nothing can make me change my mind.
I won't change my mind about you.
Why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way.
Oh, that is just so disrespectful for you to say something like that. Say it with your chest.
Change my mind.
All right, I've had this on my Change My Mind list for a couple weeks, because when I think of these things, I have to write them down or I forget. And I felt like it was finally time to unleash it, because this is one that could be done at any single time, and I didn't think of one today that was really topical and a part of today like I try to do. So my Change My Mind is, Maddie, kangaroos are creepy, scary, and have no business being on Earth. I mean,
They
maybe
shouldn't even exist?
I mean, maybe that's a little far.
What about
all
the
right?
baby kangaroos? I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay.
The parents may be mean and and hurtful. But
They're weird.
You're gonna blame the children?
I mean, just real quick, think about how weird a kangaroo is.
It's got a pouch. That's kind
It
of
has
weird.
a pouch that it carries its offspring in.
They got the weird legs.
They have weird legs. They jump. They don't run. They just hop and hop and hop. They're like bunny on steroids, on horse steroids, not regular steroids, horse steroids. All right, they are jacked. They will punch you. They will kick you.
They got claws.
They have claws. Yes, you
So
showed me a video
we
of this
pulled
guy.
Up this video, and
these claws are like 6-7 inches long.
There was a kangaroo outside of a guy's glass door, and the claws are 3 inches long each.
Oh.
His chest looks like he's a guy
Freaking
a
bodybuilder.
weightlifter on steroids, and he is chest bumping the glass door, trying to break it. I'd be terrified.
So here's my thing with kangaroos. what purpose, and maybe, I mean, I'm not a zoologist. I'm not a animal expert. What purpose do kangaroos have? Like, what is their job in this ecosystem, in this circle of life? It's a big circle of life. What job do they have other than to, like, creep people out? Because, and I know a lot of people like kangaroos.
Some people think... Do they eat kangaroos in Australia?
They do not.
Like here we eat cows in Australia.
I don't think they
have
eat
kangaroo burgers.
I don't think they do. So, like, what is a kangaroo's purpose in life? Like, you know, you think... And
kangaroo is a lean and nutritious meat that has a flavor similar to beef or venison with a slightly sweet finish. It pairs well with marinades, other spicy...
Well, I would love to eat kangaroo because I don't feel like it has a job. Like, a lot of animals have jobs. They have purposes.
Did I change your mind? That you went from thinking kangaroos
shouldn't
even be on the planet Earth. And then within 10 seconds, I convinced you that maybe you told me make a juicy burger.
Because you told me I could eat it. Now that I can eat it, we'll try. I'll at least try it. But they creep me out. And the thing is, like, so many people like kangaroos. They're big fans. You know, it's the national animal of Australia. A whole continent loves kangaroos.
Thank you, Aaron. A baby kangaroo is a joey. So you're going to blame all the joeys out there?
Not all the joeys.
You're going to blame Joey Tribbiani or whatever his name was from Friends? And Chris and Fayetteville, they absolutely eat kangaroo. Kangaroo is in Australia like deer is in America. Jamie, I don't know if he's just being funny or not. He says they taste like chicken.
Well, that's the joke, that everything tastes like chicken.
That's also Rudolph tasted like chicken when Santa Claus barbecued him up.
Of course. So, like, I guess you somewhat changed my mind because now they at least have a purpose. Like, I can eat them. But as far as, like, the ecosystem, like, what natural predator
in the circle of life?
In the circle of life, what natural predator does kangaroo? Kangaroos are vegetarians, I believe, herbivores as they're called, if I remember my schooling right.
You learned that from your dinosaur.
Exactly. But what eats kangaroos besides people?
You're right; they are vegetarians.
So, like, do kangaroos have a natural enemy? Are they prey to an animal? Are they like crocodiles, or who eats kangaroos?
They have a few natural predators: dingoes, humans, and wedge-tailed eagles.
You're telling me an eagle can take down a kangaroo?
Maybe.
Changed my mind. Yeah. Wedge-tailed eagles. Wedge-tailed eagles, get off my lawn. If you can take down a kangaroo,
God bless you.
I mean, I've got to pull a picture real quick.
That
doesn't look that big of an eagle.
Look at those legs on it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that can get off my lawn. That's next week's.
That eagle has legs like a thoroughbred.
It does. Oh my goodness. But I guess I'm going to have to try kangaroo.
I kind of feel like I changed your mind.
You did a bit. Wow. You did. Good
Something
job.
That's been on the list for weeks and weeks and weeks. I changed in a matter of seconds.
Exactly. I felt pretty strong about the fact that kangaroos are creepy. They're weird. I don't really know what they're doing on this earth other than hopping around.
Tim says, if this ever comes up, do not go in the water with a kangaroo. They lure you in and then they drown you.
Kangaroos are good swimmers?
I'm learning a lot about kangaroos.
They've obviously got the leg power, but those arms, I don't see them doing a lot of freestyle stroking there.
I'll tell you what, the more I learn about kangaroos, honestly, the more I don't like them.
Exactly. I'm very anti-kangaroo. And I'll take that one to the bank. Well, that's our show. Phil Elson, he'll be back tomorrow. For Matty T, I'm Drew Barrett. Have a wonderful and blessed day.